Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 Random Questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria. And tonight, we have one of my favorites from a long time ago, and I really am happy to have him on my show. We have former IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World and finalist of the Contender Series Season 2 boxing reality TV show, Steve 2 Pounds Forbes. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you, John. Glad to be here.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I really wanted to talk to you for years. I know you've been busy with a lot of stuff going on. And I just recently saw that there's been a book written, and I want you to talk about this so that the fans can go out and get it. It has something to do with the Knott Street Boxing Club. It's a book about all the guys that have came out of there. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. It's a book about all the guys that came out of Knott Street. I'll be honest, I haven't read it yet, but I do have the book. We did buy the book, and it just goes through the Knott Street Gym and all the fighters that came from the book. The book is called Fighting for Albina. That's the book there. With the lightweight is Ray Lampkin on it. He was he fought Roberto Duran, and he was one of the guys from there that really, you got a chance to fight Duran, and a lot of these guys got opportunities, to fight for the title, but I was one of the ones that won it. So, but without them, it wouldn't have been I wouldn't have been here. So I appreciate all the guys that came before me, especially from that gym,
So now, is there a place that the fans can actually order that book online anywhere? Is it in the stores or?
You know what? Can I get back to you on that? I want to find out exactly where they can get it.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
So anybody that's looking to get this book, just go on Steve Forbes' Facebook page or social media, and I'm sure eventually there's going to be some information on there where you guys can get the book from.
Yeah.
So also, I know some people might not know. I mean, in your area, they know. Obviously, we can see on the screen it says 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment. That's actually your promotion company, right?
It is. Yeah. It's more of a club show promotion, but I got big dreams, big hopes. I love boxing, and I love putting on shows. So we've done 4 so far. The pandemic stopped us. We had another one scheduled 2 weeks before, and then 2 weeks before they shut everything down here, and so we haven't done anything since, but we're looking to come back next year.
Nice. Okay, that's good to hear. So for all the boxers out there, if you're trying to get on a card and you're out in Steve's area anywhere, hit him up, and hopefully he can help you out, or he can find somewhere to get you on a card out there in his area.
Yeah.
All right, so you ready for these random 20 questions, Steve?
I think so.
All right. Question 1. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
Interesting story. Well, I was into martial arts and karate and stuff, but this was in 1988. I was in a grocery store with my grandmother. There was a Ring magazine. Evander Holyfield was on the magazine. Fighter of the Year. I believe he was cruiserweight at this time. He was undisputed cruiserweight champion. But anyway, I asked my grandma, can you buy me this magazine? And she bought it. And that next week, I started boxing because it was a boxing club right at our Knott Street. Actually, was right down the street at the recreation center. So I started in the summer of 1988.
Wow, and had a very good career.
Yeah, I did.
All right, question 2. So I know this was a long time ago, but hopefully you can remember it. How was your experience on the Contender Series, good and bad? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
I had a ball on the Contender. The only thing about the Contender that I didn't like going into the finals is because I thought the only reason I was going to do it is because we weighed in the same day, because I was a smaller guy. Those fights on the Contender were at 150 pounds. You know me, I was a former 130-pound fighter, so to move up that much weight, but I could walk around 150, 145. So when we did the show, I kind of walked around at that weight. So going up to the final now, there was 24-hour weigh-in. That was just, I was like, man, we can't do it the same day. They was like, no, we can't. But I thought we were going to the whole show. Um, it was a great experience for me. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of good people. You know, um, the politics of it afterwards, certain things I didn't understand. Like they did the Contender versus the UK. That was one of the things I wanted to be on the most because I had talked to the Contender about doing something like that when I was on the show. I said, hey, if you guys, we could do like a duel competition. They was like, oh, it's a good idea, and I wasn't even on it. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
I got to fight Demetrius Hopkins on a bigger show and stuff like that. So, you know, but still, that was something that made me so. I was hurt actually, but
Yeah,
you know,
how do they not put a guy that's in the finals on the show on a new thing that they do?
right? It's something new. It's a dual competition. It's supposed to be fun. You get to go over to another country. You got fans over there, and so yeah, that's one of the things that was negative to me. And I understood later. I got bigger fights. Got to fight one of the biggest names in boxing, which is Oscar De La Hoya. So I understand that. But as far as just, I would have rather have did that fight.
Okay.
Because it would have been fun.
Question 3. What advice do you give a kid that wants to become a boxer?
Oh man, I would say make sure you're at a good a gym where they care about they care about your training, your conditioning. You're not in there sparring too soon. You're not in there beating up sparring guys. You got to have good, equal competition. You want to get better each and every day. You don't want to be in there. If you dominating every sparring guy, you're not going to get any better. So, uh, I would definitely look for a good gym where they actually care about the athletes, and it's you're gonna continue to get better.
Okay. Question 4. Did you have any boxing superstitions?
Uh no, not really. No superstitions. No.
Okay. Question 5. Who is the one fighter that you never got to fight that you really wanted to fight?
Uh oh, okay. I I always want, like, when I was 130 pounds, IBF champion. I was kind of the new guy. I always wanted, and I like this guy. So it's not that I don't like him, but I just was like, man, it's an easy fight to make. He's a great fighter, Joe Casamigos. I just thought, style wise, I thought it would have been a good style for me. That type of style. He fought a guy that I have 2 wins over in David Santos. David Santos gave him a tough fight, and I watched that fight. And I was like, man, I would love to fight him. He's a great fighter, a Cuban Olympian and stuff like that. I mean, just the opportunity when we both were with America Presents. He was WBA, I was IBF. It could have been an easy fight to make, and they had talked about making the fight when he had lost to WBO featherweight champion, super featherweight champion from Brazil, Ascelino Freitas. He lost that fight to him, they talked about us, but then nothing ever happened.
No. All right. Question 6. What's something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
Okay. That my name isn't, well, it's Steve Forbes, but my family, especially my family in Texas, they don't call me Steve. My name is Stefan. Everybody in my family calls me Stefan. Um, Everybody, like, ever since I was born, it's always been Stefan. So it kind of changed, and then in boxing it's Steve, um, and even Jimmy Lennon Jr. started calling me Stevie, so it became Stevie Forbes too. So yeah, but yeah, no, that people don't know that my name is Stefan.
Okay. I remember when they were calling you Stevie on TV all the time.
Yeah. Jimmy Lennon started that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Question 7. So how did you celebrate when you won the world title?
When I won the world title in Miami of 2000 at the Mitsuzuki Casino, man, you know what I did? I went to my room. We ordered cheesecake. We ordered all this cake and stuff. And the funny part about winning the title is Roger Mayweather, my coach. He missed the plane. He missed the flight. So I had the cut man in my corner, Miguel Diaz, who gave me good instruction. But yeah, I just went to my room and I ordered a bunch of pizza, uh, ice creams, chocolate cake, cheesecake. Oh man. But my eyes were bigger than my stomach because I only took maybe one bite out of each of them. Yeah. And I slept. I slept with my belt. That was my thing. You win the title, you got to sleep with it.
Did you just sleep with it that night?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I put that thing in the bed with me. Yep. Clutched it, held it, hugged it. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I've been wanting this thing since I was a little kid. I did it first with the USBA because right before I won the IBF, I won the USBA title. I did that, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be my new thing." And so, next fight was the IBF. I win that thing. I gotta sleep with it. So that's what I did.
Question 8. What's the craziest or the funniest story that ever happened between you and a boxing fan?
Oh, boxing fan. I can't think of one. The crazy between me and a boxing fan. I don't know. Maybe a married one. We had a divorce. I mean, I married a boxing fan. Not a fan of boxing no more. I tell you that. But oh no, I can't really think of one.
Okay, no, that's fine. Sometimes they come to you, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. I mean, watch when we get off this interview, I'll remember something.
Okay, question 9. If you could have a boxing match with any fighter in history, alive or dead, who would your ultimate fight been against?
Oh, actually, it was a guy I was supposed to fight. That I had got in the run, Arturo Gatti. Yeah, I was in the running to fight Arturo Gatti, but Alfonso Gomez ended up getting the fight. Yeah, they were talking to me, and they said it's in between me and him, and I think somebody else was. I think maybe Paulie Malignaggi. Somebody else's name was mentioned in there, and I didn't get the fight, but I just thought it would have been because he always thought about when I fought him, it would be like when he fought Ivan Robinson, just an action pack because he's gonna make you fight and you're gonna have to throw punches. So I just think that would have been good because I don't run around the ring. I wouldn't have ran. I would have threw punches, and I know he's a guy that does get hit, but he does fire back, and he you can hit him and hit him with some shots, and he can hit you with one shot and change it. I thought something like that would have been a fun fight.
Oh yeah, he proved he could go to war. Him and Mickey Ward showed that.
Oh yeah, that would have been fun. It would have been, I'm not no big puncher, but I would have been throwing combinations. It would have been kind of like him and Ivan Robinson, which I thought was a fun fight too to watch. That was great.
Okay. Now I know you're a football fan besides a boxing fan too. So question 10, if you had a Super Bowl party and you could invite one NFL player over to watch the Super Bowl with you, past or present, who would your player be?
Oh man. Walter Payton.
Walter Payton? Aren't you a Dallas Cowboy? I thought, wait a minute, you got a Seattle hat on, and aren't you a Dallas Cowboy fan?
And, well, I'm more of a Detroit Lions fan than Cowboys. My Cowboys is all my family pretty much Cowboys fans. My dad, they live in Texas, so I'm supporting them, because but yeah, no, I'm a Lions fan. But I like the Bears. I like the older teams. I like the Bears. What 85? Eight when Peyton played. I would invite him over just because I would talk to him more so about football and what he thought of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming, man. I was waiting for a Dallas Cowboys,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
Michael
No.
Irving or Emmett Smith.
Walter Payton. Sweetness.
Okay. Question 11. Who was the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring, in a fight or sparring?
Oh. In a fight, well, I would say De La Hoya in a fight. But what's funny about that is everybody, they talk about the left hook. And I'm thinking, after the first few rounds, I'm like, I don't get it. I'm waiting. Then, like in the 10th round, I felt like, boom. I said, oh, okay, it's a different type of shot. It's not a hard, stiff type shot. It's just, I got hit and I was like, oh man, I kind of feel a little, like my legs are a little bit, they're not 100%. And then my first thought, I need to fight back. So I threw some punches back and kind of backed off. But yeah, I would say Oscar. And then I would say, like in the gym, hardest puncher, uh, maybe Marcos Maidana, man. I mean, as far as his wild shots and, I sparred with him for his Adrian Broner fight and his fights against Mayweather too. So yeah, maybe him as far as inside the gym where it's, he's launching all these crazy shots, maybe him, I would say.
All right, question 12. Can you tell me an interesting story out of your boxing career? Any story.
Interesting story. Oh. It don't have to be nothing in the ring or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a story. Me and Jeff Mayweather. We used to go drive up to Big Bear and spar with Kennedy McKinney, the former Olympian and two-time world champion Kennedy King McKinney. So one time we went up there. We was driving up to Big Bear. It was cold. It was kind of snowy and stuff. And Jeff Mayweather's car died, where I think it was the alternator or something. So, and we didn't have good reception, so we walked through one of the small towns before you get all the way up to the top of the mountain. Pretty much all night we was walking because everything was closed. It wasn't, this was 11 at night, 12 at night. So we pretty much was walking around trying to stay warm all night until one of Kennedy McKinney's assistant trainers, Ronnie Hughes, drove down the hill and get us. But I'm talking about all night long. I mean, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. We're walking around, going to convenience stores, getting coffee, trying to warm ourselves up. I mean, that was one of the craziest experiences I ever had. Just to go spar. And so when we get picked up and we finally get up there. I think him and I slept for 12 hours. I mean, but yeah, that was probably one of the most bizarre things that ever happened to me, in boxing. That was
Okay.
The car broke down. We was in the cold.
That was a good story though. I bet you a lot of fans have never heard that story.
Yeah, every time I look at Jeff, I think about that. Jeff Mayweather. I'm like, man, our hands swole up because we were so cold. Oh, that was, yeah.
All right, question 13. If you had to go on a cross-country road trip and you had to choose one comedian and one athlete to go with you, who would you choose?
One comedian and one athlete?
Yep, to go on a cross-country road trip with.
Well, the comedian, I'm taking Cat Williams. Because I just think he's going to make you laugh the whole way. And one athlete, John Jones. John Bones Jones. I just think that me, him, and Cat, I just think it would be you'd have a fun trip.
Okay.
Interesting, but fun.
All right, question 14. If the mayor of your city was willing to name something after you, what would you want named in your city?
Maybe Maybe an arena, like a sports arena.
Nice.
Yeah.
Steve, 2 pounds, Forbes Arena.
Yeah. The arena of underdogs. Yeah.
All right. Question 15. Tell me a professional boxer that you think someday will end up being a good trainer.
A professional boxer that's currently fighting now.
That you think someday after his career that you see the knowledge in him right now that he would end up being a good trainer.
Ooh, I think Boots Ennis would be good because of, I mean, the knowledge, like his dad, and they seem to know boxing really well over there, in Philly. But I would say a guy like Boots Ennis, I think would be a good trainer.
Okay. Question 16. If you could meet any infamous person from history, who would you want to meet?
Oh man, infamous. Oh man. Oh, let me think. Maybe Billy the Kid.
Okay.
Somebody like that. Yeah. Billy the Kid.
All right. Question 17. Who was your favorite opponent that you fought in your career?
My favorite opponent. You mean the one I like? It's okay.
I mean, just in the ring, that it was a good fight, that you guys had good exchange, that personally that you liked the guy, that it was a good all around experience for you.
Okay, David Santos. We fought twice, and I think both. But the first time, I think I kind of took over the fight, and then the second time, I didn't make the weight, and I was drained a lot. But he fought a courageous fight, and I still was able to come back and fight good. But I always, a guy like that, like I always had a lot of respect for him, and I always thought, he was a good had a good character, and was just, all around good fighter. I liked his style. Um, yeah, I would say David Santos.
Okay. Question 18. Who is someone in your life that has inspired you outside the sport of boxing?
Someone in my life. Well, my grandmother, she passed away, but she was a big inspiration. She's the one that taught me about, the law of attraction and stuff like that. And as a kid, I used to write. She said, write stuff down that you want to do. So I was a boxing junkie. So I would write down what I'm going to do, what my record's going to be, this and that, and all this stuff. And it didn't happen 100%, but 95, 96% is not bad at all. But she told me start writing stuff down and start, believing in yourself, and you're gonna show all the people that don't believe in you what you can do. And so she was, probably the most inspirational person.
Okay. Question 19. If you could be any superhero, who would it be and why?
Oh man, I was a big Spider-Man fan as a kid. So yeah, probably Spider-Man. Because you don't know who he is. You can cover yourself, but or you got the mask on. So yeah, I would say Spider-Man.
Okay. Question 20. This is your last question. If you could only eat all your meals for 30 days from one fast food restaurant, which one would you choose?
Oh man, one fast food restaurant. Oh man, I don't know. Fast food. Probably Jack in the Box, the ultimate cheeseburger. I'm an ultimate cheeseburger fiend, man. Yeah, I love them.
I bet you weren't eating those cheeseburgers during training.
Oh heck no, man. But after it was over, I was.
Yeah, we know you like cheesecakes too. You already
Oh
talked
yeah,
about that.
cheesecake. Oh heck yeah.
I will say a funny thing though. You said after winning the title, you ate a bunch of cheesecakes. That reminded me that I had somebody else on the show that won a world title, and they told me the first thing they did is they went home and had a huge bowl of macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah. I can do that.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you taking time out tonight to come on the show and do the random 20 questions and have fun with them. If there's anything you want to say to your fans or supporters or family or anything, go ahead.
I just appreciate you for having me on. You know, if I were to say anything to anybody, I would just, whatever anybody's going through, man, don't quit, keep going, and keep your hands up and your chin tucked. That's it.
All right, hold on. And with that, the truth